The following podcast contains real reviews and the ridiculous reactions of two would-be oracles of the internet. The opinions expressed and presented are mere musings, so please humor their hijinks with a laugh and not by taking anything they say seriously. Seriously.
Ho, 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 and welcome to ReviewParty.com. But Christmas, I'm Brent.
I'm Matt.
And this week we have, as always, on Christmas, we have a very special guest with us, Chris. Hello, jingle,
Hello,
jingle, jingle.
everybody. Jingle, jingle, indeed.
How did the last year treat you, buddy?
The last year, get-tratting me well. I had a kid. By the time this episode, through the magic of recording technology, by the time this episode comes out, I will either be dead or will have survived a year of fatherhood. Holding to the latter.
Those really are the two options. The people that die for 10 minutes and it changes their whole life, that's crazy stuff to me. Nikki 6.
That's a hell of a bar story to be like, what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you? I died.
Well, I drank too much of this here Heineken. But yeah, this is ReviewParty.com. We got reviews every week. We read them. We make funnies. This week is Christmas. Holidays, I should say. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
It just works out well with the naming convention. But yeah, whatever you're celebrating, I hope it's going great. Let's just get into the reviews, boys. Who wants to start?
All right, I'll start.
There it is.
I've got an Amazon review right here. I don't get Amazon reviews as often as I used to, probably because I'm mostly scouring for reviews while at work. And since I work with maps, it makes sense that I'm just grabbing Google reviews a lot. But I have an Amazon review for the original Elf Christmas dolls. 12-inch Christmas elf doll, toy elf doll for kids or decor, mini toy elf dolls for Christmas elf decorations, posable little elf shelf sitters with dangling legs.
I was going to ask, these are the shelf boys.
This is not the
not the one you look for, not the
standard elf on the shelf. No, I'll copy a picture just because there's no way I'm going to be able to describe this with any degree of actual closeness. I didn't get the full thing, but they're you can kind of get what pose he's doing.
I see him. Yeah, if you Google original elf, for some, capitalism is powerful enough. You don't see the original sort of elf mythos. You see, this little bastard. See, a little elfie's posing very naughty.
Yeah,
I guess
that's disturbing.
Which will make more sense when you hear this review. This comes to us from Reginald D. Sawyer. He titles his review, "I'm very pleased with my Christmas elf doll," and writes, "I am very happy to report that my 12-inch Christmas elf doll arrived to me in the mail yesterday, and I am very pleased with him. He is so cute and fierce. And I discovered that his light plastic body is made to move like a Ken doll type body. I don't care if his body is made of cheap plastic. And being that he is 12 inches tall, he can easily wear the same clothes and doll underwear as my Ken dolls and my other 12-inch male fashion dolls. I will be purchasing some new Ken doll Christmas clothes, Christmas tuxedos, 3-piece suits, etc., and regular Ken doll clothes, tuxedos, 3-piece suits, etc., for him to wear year-round, the Christmas clothes he can wear every year for Christmas and the Christmas season each year. He is so fierce and cute and also very well made. He fits right in my stuffed animal and doll collection. I am proud to have purchased him, and he is my very first Christmas elf doll in my collection. I named him Edgardo the Christmas Elf, and I am very pleased with my purchase. Reginald Sawyer, toy collector of stuffed animals and dolls. 5 stars.
I think as 3 cishet men, it didn't hit us first. The true sort of grab that this doll has, and it's the pure twinkosity of it, the audaciousness of the twink energy here.
He's got that 1950s hair flip, the bright red hair,
Yeah.
the matching far too high bright red eyebrows. He's got a bit of a golden age of America charm to him, doesn't he?
He's a little bit of a scamp.
Underneath all that, there's a certain geisha energy to it as well.
So, as a person who plays a lot of plastic miniature war games, the Warhammers and the such, that review is exactly my deepest fear. Is that's what everybody thinks I am.
Oh, no.
I do not play with dolls, mother. I am playing with my action figures.
Just because I've created my own special lore and given them names.
Just because I'm dressing them up in little tiny Santa coats and Christmas tuxedos.
See, I think that is exactly what you're doing. And when people judge you for that, you should own it. That's where I'm sort of with it.
Honestly, that's probably the healthier approach.
Yes, these are my dolls. They're very expensive and cool. You're asking them about them because you're interested in my dollies, aren't you?
This is Eduardo, the Space Marine. He is very fierce. You can see by his stripy socks.
You know how many orcs this cute little handsome man has slayed?
That's a great call. How many cookies he's made? Is there like animosity, or is there like a hierarchy, do you think, amongst elf culture? Like, is it like a caste system? Like, oh, you're born into cookie making, kid, and it's going to be a rough life. Like,
on one hand, all Christmas media, propaganda, I should say, that we've been fed has told us the otherwise, right? Elves are sort of supernaturally beyond that sort of judgment of each other, and they're perfect.
But
Reindeers, on the other hand,
thing you would say if you were a North Pole elf, right? Like, I've never seen like an elf and the Santa Claus interact with like one of them dirty elves from Mirkwood.
Right? Yeah, they're just one sort of Keebler adjacent elf. Or maybe Keebler is more of an offshoot of the Christmas elves.
Yeah, I did see, as I was searching for reviews, I found an elf costume, and someone had a dress as an elf day picture. And there are 3 very Christmassy elves, and then just a dude who looks like he came straight from the Ren Fair. And like his burlap shirt and his elfish bucket hat. Like that.
How could you not dress like you were from Lordaeron with that prompt? I'd be putting on the fucking metal circlet around my forehead.
Oh.
I'd be like have a fan on at all times, so my hair was just going crazy.
100%.
I'd give a dwarf a lock of my hair. That's a good gift, isn't it? But actually, I have a good segue to my beefiest review, so I'm going to jump right in it. Matt mentioned that the North Pole's very tolerant, besides when it comes to the reindeer.
Yeah.
And I have a review that touches on that, not to sell the farm, but from IMDb, a review of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 TV movie.
Let's go.
I think, by all accounts, the most beloved, ubiquitous of the old claymation Christmas movies. Mr. Fusion wants to tell us about it. They title it, The Classic Story of the Unique Reindeer and Everyone Who's Out to Bust His Chops. They write, it could be that I didn't see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer until well into adulthood, but one question still nags year after year. Why is everyone at the North Pole such a dick? It's like one of the producers took the cruelest line of the song. All the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games and ran with it. But Rudolph's not the only victim. Hermie finds himself a social outcast for wanting to become a gay dentist. I realize this is the 60s, but that's messed up. Mrs. Claus, a.k.a. the ball breaker extraordinaire, browbeats her husband into staying fat for Christmas. Donner's a misogynist douche who keeps his wife at home. Quote, "No, this is man's work." Rudolph gets the short end of the stick, which is an understatement, in more ways than one during this holiday staple. His old man Donner shuns the kid just for being born with a light-up nose. Santa does the same and bars him for being on the sleigh team. Then he gets laughed out of reindeer games. Dude can't even mac on the ladies without being attacked by their bigoted fathers. And here's the kicker. Rudolph's the one that pulls Santa's fat out of the fire and saves Christmas. And Burl Ives is okay with all of this. He just stands there, plucking a soundless banjo. The moral here seems to be, if you're different, we don't want you. Unless you save the day, then no thanks to our ingrate selves, then you're part of our family. Yukon Cornelius is the only reasonable non-victim of the characters, and he's just daffy as hell. You can't help but love that guy. But at the end of the day, this was a glimpse into a time when Christmas specials were few and far between, and I do have a fondness for the sets and stop-motion work involved. There's just something about Ives' voice and watching the visuals, without thinking too much about why everyone here's a douche, that makes this one watchable every year. 6.5 out of 10.
It's been a while since I've seen this, so I guess I don't remember.
The plot's is more simple than you can ever imagine. Rudolph wants to be, join the sleigh training team. Donner hates him. Everyone hates him. He gets outcast. He meets the island of misfit toys. He finds his anime protagonist Kakugo, and then there's a storm. I think there's like a lightsaber duel with a Yeti. Rudolph sort of frozen to the ceiling. Uh-huh. And he has to find his way out of there. Yeah, that's it.
Honestly, that's the best way to have like an origin story, is you take one line that could have far more meaning than anyone ever gave credit to and just expand upon that. Like if there were a song about Batman and you took one line from it that everyone else glossed over and you made an entire universe based on that one line, that'd be pretty sweet.
It is, if you think of the rest of the song, like, it's not very interesting. Like, do you really want to watch an hour and 40 minutes of stop motion? Like, Rudolph just, like, very efficiently and successfully going through his day of work. That's not a movie. That's barely even a documentary.
And it paints Rudolph as far too competent.
Oh yeah. You want to see some character growth, right? Well, my character, I don't need some whatever the male equivalent of a Mary Sue is. Just I got enough of that in my Star Warses and my Marvels.
And it's funny, if you ask me to name the most prominent line in the song, and maybe growing up with this propaganda here, that changed my mind about it, but I can't, Batmobile lost his wheels and the Joker got away. Rudolph was getting made fun of and dunked on and no one liked him. That's like what I remember about the poor lad. Yep. That's what you can latch onto, his sort of his underdog story. And sometimes the underdog is a victim of misogyny by his own father. That's just them's the breaks.
Not to drastically change the topic, but when you said Donner was a misogynistic asshole, it unlocked a memory for me. We recently were in beautiful Springfield, Illinois, and we were looking for a rest stop. And what I found on Google Maps while looking for somewhere to stop was that there is a Donner Party historical site in Springfield, Illinois. Surprising to me for several reasons. Regret to inform, it has a 4.5 rating, 2 reviews, but no written reviews. I was so hopeful. So I thought I had found a gem.
I mean, I guess you just got to go there for next year and bring us your own Christmassy Donner Party review. What's more Christmas than getting trapped in a frozen place and eating your friends and family? I'm looking, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is only 47 minutes long.
40, that makes sense. The TV special, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, in my head, all of those claymation, like stop motion, Chris, they're all one movie.
Right. When I was like, okay, I should find one of those old claymation movie reviews. I was like, what one? And then I was thinking, I was like, I don't think of them in terms of which movie. I just think of scenes.
Right.
Yeah. I just think of Island of Misfit Toys
Heat miser, snowmire.
Yeah. Little drummer boy walking in the darkness. It's just bits and pieces.
It was years ago. I bought a DVD for the Charlie Brown Christmas special, and it had like 3 or 4 different Charlie Brown like winter Christmas specials and episodes. And watching it, I was like, I had no idea these weren't all just one very long episode.
Man, it would be a trip to see this premiere in 1964. This must have blew your little brain. But Chris, do you have a review that you did find?
I do. I have a couple. Do you guys want to swing back to IMDb, or do you want to travel to a new platform? We've got some options.
What do you think, Matt?
Let's hit us with the movies.
All right, let's hit a movie. This is not a Christmas movie. This is definitely a rom-com everybody remembers, Friends with Benefits, starring Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. That's what is it?
I do remember that damn movie.
2011.
I hate that movie so
well, you're
clear
gonna love
in my mind.
This review. This is from, wow, I did not think about how to pronounce this when I read it originally. Stefia Sanin 97. Posted 10 years after the movie came out. It's nice to see people still doing the hard work of making sure they get their internet reviews out there. This review is titled Perfect for Horny Teens.
Oh.
Well, not gonna lie, it's far from a masterpiece, but if you are 16, it's a perfect film to watch with your crush, and that's about all I've got to say about it. It's not funny. It's not smart. It's not refreshing. It's just there, existing solely for people who wish they had friends with benefits without having slightest chance with anyone. 3 out of 10.
That's aggressive. I love it.
I feel like maybe there's a bit of projection.
I was going to say the same thing. A little bit of anger, a little bit. I mean, at the same time, didn't a very similar movie come out? It's No Strings Attached.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the Kutcher one?
That's the Kutcher and the Natalie Portman, right?
I feel like this is 2011. This is the era we were all in college together.
Yeah.
Living our best life. And I just remember so many of these shitty, like, pseudo-sexual rom-coms coming out at the time.
I think of I saw a meme or somebody making fun of Hollywood and how some producer found out about screaming goats, and now it has to be in every single children's movie from now to the end of time. And it's, it's like 6 years after the rest of the world found out about him. And I feel like that's what happened in like the late noughts, early teens, is like movie producers found out about Friends with Benefits. This is what all the kids are talking about. We gotta go ahead with this.
No, that's so true. That was like when Tinder was rising, and like, I think on the lips of media and the bigwigs was, these millennials aren't dating traditionally. They are fucking and sucking as they please. As though that hasn't been the same, among similar demographics throughout American history.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the openness we had about it was a little more, either the openness or the amount that the media got to be a privy to and make it into a big thing.
Yeah, you got to clutch your pearls about something, right?
That's just good content, Carl Butchin. If I'm going to clutch some pearls about this, mine is to make rom-coms actually funny.
Remember back in the day, rom-coms.
Bring me back. It was that damn Jimmy Kimmel baseball movie that ruined it for everyone.
Oh, the Fever Pitch?
Yeah.
Fever Pitch with Drew Barrymore, man. That was the beginning of the end of good rom-coms, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I think by the letter of the law, Adam Sandler movies are all rom-coms, right?
Right.
Is there any of that isn't? I think
some more than others.
No, Big Daddy have a romance subplot too? He has his ex-girlfriend.
It's got the girl with the raspy voice. And she's like, "You're great with Julian."
Right.
Another thing that's dead since rom-coms are dead is the 90-minute movie.
Yes.
But I just saw A Real Pain earlier this week. That's Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. It's not really a rom-com, it's a dramedy, but 90 clean minutes. And you see Jesse Eisenberg's feet a few more times than you need to.
Well, it's his directorial debut, right? You try to emulate your heroes like Quentin Tarantino, obviously, and so
Yeah, leave the showing feet on screen to Quentin. Honestly, I've had enough of popular media realizing that there's people out there that like feet, because I don't. I'm
still strong on the bandwagon of don't give me feet, don't cut out my nudity in movies, just hang more dong, right? Push. I think I brought this up in a previous episode, and I'm still on this, that there's equality in nudity in movies, and we are moving the wrong way.
I honestly am more comfy seeing some Twig and Berries full frontal than I am feet being framed in that way.
Especially in the cinema, right? You don't want to see a 20-foot tall foot. That's
it's. I don't mean to kink shame, but it has its place. It has its place. You can look at feet all you want, just don't put it in my Adam Sandler rom-com, man. The only foot I want to see in an Adam Sandler rom-com is one that is
pure frostbitten black.
Right, exactly. Whackable with a fire poker.
The only foot I want to see on a screen is 12 inches of hard plastic Twinkie elf dressed in a variety of adorable outfits.
But if you're doing stop motion, you can do whatever you want. Twinkie elf feet, Santa full frontal, the snowman's got a fucking huge asshole. I don't care, man. That's your art.
If our elf friend from before was in a movie, would you guys watch that movie? I don't think I could bear it. I think probably the scariest movie I've ever seen if I had to see that.
Yeah, it'd be like...
Wasn't that Longlegs?
I have a feeling it'd be some European animation that was then overdubbed by like an actor that you like, but you're ashamed that they have to do this sort of work.
Oh, you're picturing the I forget his name, Ralph Banksy style, like original Hobbit sort of wiggle animation.
Maybe that'd be cool. That I would watch. I would
watch the elf lead a film if Ralph Banksy directed and animated it.
I would watch it if an aging star that I felt bad was voicing the elf, like Al Pacino. Jeremy Irons, like collecting a paycheck.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like Stanley Tucci offers his voice. You're like, Stanley, what do you don't need to do this, but I'll listen.
I want my kids to watch something. That's what they always say. That's what the good actor who does an animated movie. I want my kids to know what I do. My kids. Well, none of us have kids except Chris, so we're gonna take a break in honor of him, so he can.
Matt and Brent are gonna go steal some kids, so we have something to talk about in the second half of the episode.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to our lovely little podcast. If you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting our show, or have the most fabulous conversation starter since sliced bread, go to reviewparty.com. Click on shop and explore some fabulous t-shirt designs.
Where's your favorite place to wear a t-shirt?
On my body.
Mine is at the store.
That is a good place to wear a t-shirt. Reviewparty.com. Click shop.
Why stop there?
Don't stop now.
Don't stop me now, because I'm buying a t-shirt. I'm buying a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, neighbors, everyone on your holiday greeting card, welcome to the second half of the episode, and welcome to Upon Further Review? Question mark? Mostly upon further review-ish? Yeah, mostly. That's the segment where we look at the things we thought we knew and we figure out, there's a definite upon further review in here. It just doesn't start out that way. We look at the things we thought we knew and we find out how little we knew about them. And since it's Christmas season, holiday season, sending card season, I'm here today to tell you all about the Hallmark greeting card. Because, hey, it seems like those suckers been around forever, right?
As long as I've been on this godforsaken earth, they have.
Christmas, right? Isn't that what the three wise men were delivering?
Yeah, they pitched in for a nice one with a good envelope.
Frankincense.
Hey, I got this. You guys can sign it too. You don't worry about it. You guys sign it too.
So Hallmark cards, it was a company driven by an early 20th century postcard craze. Joyce Clyde Hall and his older brothers William and Raleigh began the Norfolk Postcard Company in 1907 in Norfolk, Nebraska. So they're making cards. They're doing great. They didn't rename the company Hallmark until 1928. Not because their name is Hall, although that's a fun coincidence, but because the Hallmark symbols were used by goldsmiths in London it was a trademark to show the quality of the metal and certify it. Such things as that. Say, this is good stuff. It's got the mark on it that says it's good. So they're like, why don't we steal that name and put it on our cards? But in any case, normally for this, I like try and find an old classic movie and get newspaper reviews, a la Great Reviews in History, but I couldn't find that in any old newspapers. I did find, however, some old ads. So, slightly upon further review, slightly Great Reviews in History, slightly great ads in history. I've got a few newspaper clippings, newspapers.com, hashtag support your local library. You get access to... I'm looking at a newspaper from 1928, okay? How cool is that?
Matt's got his microfiche machine out. He's in a grody basement somewhere. There's a green filter over everything.
Is that paper made of papyrus?
Yeah. This from the Alexandria Times Tribune. It's easy to find your gifts here. We are completely stocked with a line of novelties that make ideal gifts. Silk lingerie, linens, pottery, pictures, smokers, magazine racks, musical powder boxes, and see our Xmas cards. Send Hallmark cards this Christmas. They will please you, and so will the price. Hale's Flower and Gift Shop.
Already dropping the Xmas. That shocks me.
People back in the day, everyone acts like today is so busy. You got so much to do. Back in the day, people just had anything to fucking cut a second, man. So with those 70-hour work weeks, you don't got time to write Christmas out off the way all the time, or get a thoughtful gift. So you buy this like 2-cent greeting card.
Yeah, I think what startled me the most is that silk lingerie was the first thing that they listed.
Coming out strong for sure.
I mean, a silk lingerie. Is this like pre-nudie mag era? I always think about how accessible looking at boobies in my life has been, and how it's sort of altered how I see. Because back in the day, think about old movies, like how coveted the porno mag was, just to like see some boobies. Now you just type in the old Google boobie, you can see 1, 2, a million.
You just don't even have to Google. Just go to Lollapalooza. It's just.
So, like, wife in lingerie, as cool as I think that is, very cool stuff. Back then, that must have just been absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, hot dog. Get some silk lingerie. Wow.
To be fair, I'm sending you guys an article of what early Christmas cards looked like. Strongly recommend, as soon as you finish this episode, dear listener, go down this rabbit hole of looking at early Christmas cards. It's absolutely fucking incredible. But I kind of think if this is where like the development level was on Silk Lingerie, you know, it's they hadn't quite figured out the game just yet, right?
I don't know this "Who's Had My Pudding" crying child Christmas card is really good.
I like all the ones that have like small neighborhood animals murdering each other.
The little mouse eating the cat, the compliments of the season.
There's a frog that has stabbed another frog and appears to be stealing his wallet.
The mouse eating the cat, what implications is that? Like, I hope you eat your boss alive on Christmas? What?
It's like nobody... The range of places you could have gone with a Christmas card is pretty wide, and these guys missed it by a fucking mile. Or Christmas was real different in like the early 20th century.
Yeah, I think Christmas was just awesome. There's this one of turkeys roasting a man.
God.
One good turn deserves another.
I like the one of the court jester just eating a baby.
Yeah, no, I would rather get these than the fucking Christmas cards I get. Just like some crappy 2-bit graphic design, happy holidays, like ribbons essentially jerking themselves off in a graphic design type way.
Yeah, and apparently in these early days, I've got one from the Billings Gazette here, Hallmark Christmas cards with special verses by Edgar Guest, who was an American poet. So they'd have like legitimate poets working on the little phrases inside.
That does feel a little classier. Although it'd be awesome if I got a Christmas card and it's like, Merry Christmas to you and all your family, hoping you the best like next year. And then there's a little like, this was written by Stephen King. Like, yeah, all right.
That'd be great.
If I got that gig, I would be mailing it in. If they hired me under the guise like, oh, you're a famous poet, we need you, that would be definitely the worst poetry would be given to Hallmark for sure. The worst shit from the backlog. I'm getting nothing but money from those bastards.
Especially, I mean, what, like $6 a greeting card? Like, I'm getting
what's
my
the
share of that.
This ad is kind of unsettling. It's from the Sterling, Kansas Bulletin. It's like almost written in verse the way it's formatted, but they've capitalized the first word of every line. So I'll try and respect that all capsiness of the first word. It reads, "We don't believe we've ever told you about our line of Hallmark greeting cards. We mention this especially this week because we know we'll be doing you a real favor if we can influence..." Oh, God, I can't do it. "If we can influence you to come into our store to see them. One lady just told us they are the prettiest greeting cards she ever saw, and we could tell by the tone of her voice that she wasn't saying it just to please us. Anyway, we want to say again that sending greeting cards to your friends is a beautiful custom, especially when you select your cards from our quality line. There are cards for every occasion, and you just ought to see how beautiful they are. Select your Christmas cards now."
I was going to say, I like a woman just told us. Because this is the era of print. So are they like, fuck, get it to press right now before she takes it back.
What struck me is like, today advertisement is so subliminal. Even sort of on a surface level, even though that's probably an oxymoron, but like, this is truly a pitch. This is truly like if someone was door-to-door vacuum salesmaning you, but it's just like in a magazine instead. Like explaining what a Christmas card is and what it can do for you.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned door-to-door salesman, because this last one that I'm going to read is from the Journal-Times. I saw similar ones elsewhere, but it seems like they added their own copy at the end, which is why I'm including this one. They write, "Scatter sunshine with greeting cards," and then in a beautiful circle write, "Fring's greeting cards are the famous Hallmarks. Hallmark greeting cards are sold only by reliable dealers in stores and shops. ... Never are they peddled from door to door. Nor are quality cards like these ever sold in bargain box assortments or by mail. Get the genuine here. There is no substitute for Hallmark quality. Our stock is fresh and new, so displayed that selection is easy, and we urge you to come now and take full advantage of that large variety. Obey that impulse.
Obey that impulse. Shit, I'm going to use that at work.
I know, I love that line.
I also love the only buy from reputable dealers. I'm like, hey, kid. Hey, over here. I'll buy some greeting cards.
The trench coat opens to just, it's like a fucking greeting card rack appears.
He opens, but it's just a whole bunch of New Jersey cigarettes. He's like, oh, fuck, wrong side. This side. This is the greeting card side.
He opens it up, it's greeting cards, and then he stands on a rotating plate so you can spin him and see each one at your leisure.
He's got a cousin who works at the greeting card factory. He's just trying to make ends meet, man. Right? It's these things.
I happened upon a box of the finest greeting cards, very rare, no longer in print, buddy. You can get these for a nickel apiece. You'll never see your mom's. Your mom's gonna get out the silk lingerie and go hang out with Dad right away after she sees this greeting card boy.
Why did Christmas have 2 S's at the end? Don't worry about it, kid.
So just put some mashed potatoes over it from your dinner. You'll be fine. Some potato flakes. Now we're not in the Depression yet. Everyone's rich in the 20s.
Right? Yeah.
It hasn't crashed.
Cash over it.
They won't see the extra with all the cash you're stuffing in there. America's got nothing but upside, baby.
Also, sorry, I want to go back a card because I watched too many like Da Vinci Code inspired specials on History Channel as a child. If you read all of the capitalized words, does it spell a secret message?
Ooh.
Whoa, you are woo.
Let me pull that back up.
This is a thing that I do anytime I find oddly capitalized things. I'm like, ooh, are you trying to send me a message? It never is. It's just gibberish.
Yeah, people just don't know how to text. The same generation that wrapped my knuckles with rulers because I got my grammar wrong. Forgot a comma or something.
Right.
It's the same generation who can't fucking type a text message without it looking like the weirdest hieroglyphs I've ever seen.
Lincoln pull in like a linguistic. Probably all these linguistics games are blowing up on Steam. People are just trying to understand text messages.
They need to massage that part of their brain somehow. It's looking bleak. For this Christmas, get everyone a book. Legitimately. Or a greeting card. That's probably as much reading as I can handle.
All right, papers.com, where are you? Look, all the point of this joke is I just want Matt to say wee wee because those were the first two capitalized words.
Yeah. That was the one that I closed that it didn't open back up properly.
We'll never know. The message is hidden.
I'll find it by the end of the episode. But the one upon further review, apparently in 1917, these brothers, quote, invented modern wrapping paper when they ran out of traditional colored tissue paper at their stationery store and substituted fancy French envelope lining paper. So this is like a different textured paper, and people are like, hot dog, this paper is rad.
Wowzers, I wonder what's in there.
Put me in that world, put me in that upbringing. Maybe it's just the effect of already knowing what's there to think that I know it, but I would have thought of pretty wrapping paper. I would have thought of making wrapping paper not ugly, guaranteed.
That definitely is that's a thing that comes out of the 1917, 1920s time frame, right? Like, you gotta think there's an article out there blaming fancy wrappy paper for the Great Depression, right? Like, got a little too big for our britches. We started wrapping boxes that were already boxes and additional paper, and it was the fancy French envelope lining paper, and look where it got us.
But I do think it opens up the converse, because Some of my most memorable wrapping paper is just like paper bags from the local grocery store.
100%.
Got those a couple times. Or newspaper, literally just using newspaper. That's very a nice touch, I think.
Especially if you dig out the funny pages, right? It's like 2 gifts, right?
Oh, the Sunday funnies when they're all in color, then you're really cooking.
The best.
All right, have we explored history?
We have explored history and things and such.
Hey, I feel more educated about the origins of this capitalist holiday.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Are you all big on greeting cards? I'm not anti-greeting card, but I'm not like, I don't know. I guess when I wrap presents, I usually just take a part of the paper, the wrapping paper, and like fold it into a little card and write to, from.
I feel like that's the way to go. Maybe other people don't feel the same way, but whenever I get a greeting card, I'm not like unthankful for the greeting card, but I'm always like, thank you. Now what do I do with this? Because it's like nice enough that I don't want to throw it away. But what else am I going to do with it?
It is just nice trash. It is just slightly nicer than trash.
Right? Like
I guess there are the people that they like tape up all the greeting cards every year.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
I do that with like Christmas cards, right? Like when
yeah,
card goes on the wall, but the like the present greeting card feels like it just feels like I don't think I'm cut out for that kind of luxury.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll take a card at Christmas, especially if there's some moolah in it. If you're getting me a card just send me a text, honestly.
Right?
You don't need to pay like $250 to do it. Not on me. That's just me though. I could read a review. Does anyone have one they want to get off their chest before we get out of here?
While we're talking about economics, I've got one that I can hit you guys with.
Sure.
This is a review for the concept of economics. That's not true. This is a review for the game Victoria 3 on Steam. I'm not going to explain the game. Just if you don't know what it is, you're about to find out. This is from Kami, Commie. Delightfully a picture of Pikachu holding a cup of coffee. So I guess Pikachu's a communist, we've learned. Review is, this game rules. All other Paradox games should be folded into Victoria 3. Give me this economic simulation in Hearts of Iron 4. Give it to me in Europa Universalis 4 and Stellaris. Hell, give it to me in Crusaders Kings 3. I liked it when it launched, and it's only gotten better. If your simulation game doesn't have a pop-based economic simulation, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Recommended. I will clarify, I did elaborate slightly when I said what the fuck it is, and then it's actually 4 heart emojis. Literally any word there, but I think I was able to
giving the context clues is fair. You can add the little brackets. Where do you think it is around here for sure?
A little AP, just like, hey, we're just putting this in for added explanation.
Right. I'm not an economy gamer, but I like an economy more than a chores game. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The economy game is sort of about making sure your chores get done for you.
That's whenever I like boot up and I'm like, I'm going to play like a survival game. And then I play like 10 minutes and I'm like, I have actual branches in my yard I need to pick up. I should probably do that.
No, exactly. It's just a fine line these days between playing a game and doing chores. I can't believe what we've got. Minecraft, for everything good it's done for the game design, it's done like just as much bad. It's poisoned just as much brains.
That's those games that make you more like mobile games, but the ones that make you wait hours to do things again, or else you have to pay for it, like that.
The
really
energy
puts things
system.
Like
I always liked the flip version of that, playing Animal Crossing, and it's like, hey man, you're out of there's no more fish to catch today. Take a break.
Yeah.
No, the New Leaf Animal Crossing, what would you time barriers, time gating? That's what they called it.
Yeah,
I was shook. I was like, are they going to ask for a $15 subscription next? Is this like an MMO? This is crazy.
It's rough times.
You got to wait for the weekly reset.
the store's closed. You can't sell any more stuff. Your house is full of all the stuff you just dropped.
I guess you're just the proud owner of 650 acorns now. Good luck.
Yeah, it's a strange waters we travel for sure. But these economy games this fellow's talking about, this is as old and as nerdy and as pure a game as you can play on the old personal computer.
Yeah, these are the games that I love them, and I always I do data and analytics for a job, and then I'll be sitting at home and I'm like, why am I having fun looking at spreadsheets? This is my whole life now is spreadsheets.
The spreadsheet game is, I'm pro like menu gaming. It's just trimming the fat, man.
Right? Just get right to the meat of it.
Right. And a lot of roguelikes are like that. A lot of the deck builder roguelikes, you're just really looking at menus and making choices. And that's the life at its most beautiful. Look at a menu, make a choice. Go to McDonald's, I want a burger.
That's the perfect moment of zen.
I found the thing. I was looking in 1928. It was one that I grabbed from 1929. And yes, as Chris recalled, we weave about Hallmark. We this know you. We to store one us prettiest. She we tone she just anyway again greeting your beautiful especially select our their occasion just how select Xmas.
That's just, so this is what AI is doing. They're just looking for capital
this
letters
is like
and stuff.
ChatGPT having a stroke. This is ChatGPT in like 2 years when it's been trained on too much AI.
It is eye-catching, but as much as I say it's eye-catching, my eye did then drift to the article just to the left of it, where I see the quote, even though dead yet speaketh. Like somebody died and they, James B. Galt, called by death. He must have been a great guy, but the way they're talking about it is pretty heavy.
I got a quick review. I can sort of do a quick tone change before we get on out of here. I have an Amazon review for probably the dumbest toy of the season that I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. This is sort of the new take on it, but you'll know where I'm going. Sesame Street, Elmo sliding, singing, and dancing. 14-inch plush, pretend play, interactive toy, kids ages 2 and up by Just Play. So this is sort of the new age Tickle Me Elmo. He just vibrating and laughing is no longer enough. He needs to do a little dance. Doreen Body titles their review, Sael's second birthday want. My 2-year-old granddaughter loves Elmo. When the commercial comes on, she goes to wiggle and yells, Elmo! Love the price, and the quality of the doll is great. It wiggles and moves to the right and left and talks and teach her new dance, and they dance. It's soft, and the sound is awesome. I love the durability of Elmo because she gets dropped many times, and it's still functioning like new. 5 stars.
Checks all the boxes. Durable, wiggles.
Captures the heart and mind of child. I don't know. Is wiggling Elmo better brain massaging for a child than like an iPad? I'm anti kid get iPad, but it's something about this feels just as like brain melting to me.
Yeah, because it's like a little robot-y thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Like the kid should be able to just take a soft, stuffy Elmo and make Elmo dance and wiggle all on their own.
Right.
I think that might be it. This innovation is not needed.
Take this machine wrapped in fuzzy red fabric and play.
Did you guys ever have like a must-have Christmas gift, like a Tickle Me Elmo craze?
I got Tickle Me Elmo the year it came out, and I was too old for Tickle Me Elmo, so it was really
swing and a miss.
I appreciated it because I knew it was a big deal that I got it, but that toy rotted. I got Furbies the year those came out.
Right.
I got Furbies too. I don't know if it was that year, but I'm sure it was.
Yeah, but around the Furby craze, my biggest ever get was the PS2 when
Big.
When every suburban Kmart got like 3 PS2s. My grandmother worked at Walmart, and she heard that they were only supposed to get 5, and they got 5 more, and they weren't going to tell anybody. They're just going to put them out. And when my grandma heard that over the radio, she asked if she could take her break, and went and bought one of them. And so I was thinking, no way am I getting PlayStation this year. Like, no one can get them. It's just impossible. So, the surprise was really real when I opened that son of a bitch.
That is awesome.
That was, I remember, I think Nintendo 64 was that for us. Apparently Super Nintendo was a big coup, but I was still a little munchkin. I don't really remember the Super Nintendo. I've just heard secondhand that apparently I was very impressed. But also I was like 4, so I was probably just impressed by like, there's a thing in the box.
Yeah, the N64, I got that. I think I got that after the fact when it wasn't so unubiquitous, but still opening that bad boy with Smash Brothers was still a brain buster for sure. Matt, do you have any? What's your favorite little childhood Christmas gift you got? You're the kind of guy that's stoked about the socks, huh?
These days, socks do stoke me.
These days they do too. I used to hate getting them. Now I'm literally asking for them.
Let's be honest though, sock game from like the mid 90s to now has really come a long way. Like,
that's true.
I'm pretty thrilled with socks now. I feel like there weren't socks that were going to thrill me in the 90s, even if I had them.
Yeah, that's true. Getting childhood socks is always a guarantee you're getting the ugliest socks you've ever seen.
Right.
At least I can get some ankle cutoffs these days.
Yeah, you like when you're a kid, it's a plain white sock that's somehow not a crew sock or an ankle cutoff sock. It's like it ends somewhere in the middle.
Nothing but tube.
Yeah. I remember getting a bike one year, I think.
Nice.
And that's when we're like, hey, why don't you go in the other room? That's always like a, what? There's something else?
It was 2 boxes. One of them was a bike. The other was a live alligator. But luckily, that one.
Choose wisely.
Thinking back, it was my grandma that bought me the PlayStation as the big gift. But not to one up you, I got a bike the same year I got a PlayStation.
Dude.
So pretty massive year, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's a big year. No kidding.
This is a sick bike too. I'm pretty sure if we didn't get rid of it, that thing would be still rolling. It had the grind bars on it. Didn't use them, but looked cool. Had some friends ride on the back a couple times, All right. I think we're all Christmased out here.
Man.
Christmas hasn't even happened for us, so I'm over it. Thank you for listening. We got new episodes every Tuesday, Reviews Day. Thank you, Chris, for hanging out with us this year.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be back.
Thank you. Navigating the having a child and having holidays schedule. It's no easy feat, so we appreciate it. We got new episodes every Tuesday. I don't know if I said that, but if you'd like to send in an absurd review for us to make some funnies over, please send an email with a hyperlink to the review to reviewparty.com@gmail.com and share your name so we can throw you some credit.
If you want to reach out to us in some other way, shape, or form this year or in the new one, you can find us online at reviewparty.com, on Instagram and TikTok, at reviewpartypod on still Twitter, X? I don't know. We're recording this a bit in advance, so maybe we'll have left it and you can find us on Blue Sky. I don't know. I just work here. We're on Letterboxd. We're on YouTube. Search Review Party. I'm sure you'll find our stuff because the stuff is there. And it's also on reviewparty.com. We got the blog. We got the shop. We got lots of the color blue to really soothe you into a deep winter chill.
Nosebleeds. You heard their song throughout the episode. If you want to hear more of their songs on Christmas or any other time, search them on Spotify. Nosebleeds, one word. I got a review to send us. What does Santa do? Ho 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 in into the good night. What Whatever.
Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night.
Yeah, and he fucking flies into the moon and
December
explodes.
26th and after is when Santa starts howling into the night.
Right. Ashley Holman, first impression, she says, about the Children's Place baby family matching holiday pajama set Fleece from Amazon. It's a fleece set that comes in different sizes, so presumably the whole family can have matching PJs. Just sounds like an absolute fucking nightmare. My first impression is that the fabric is cheap, but they are adorable. And I got them on a killer sale, so I'm not complaining. 4 stars.
Is that a review of the kids or the...